Peace. In these videos, I use these as a springboard to better articulate my thoughts and to convey, right? To be able to speak coherently, like what you're thinking, and that it just flows out, like this smooth water. So I use this, like for a double whammy, a double value, because I'm providing value on what I'm building on, and I'm also getting the lessons and experiences that I need to be a better orator. It's one of my goals, to be a better orator. I'm real big on articulation and your whole intellectual, your thought process, and to be able to get that information out of your head and to be able to communicate effectively with somebody you're speaking with. Because communication is one of the absolute necessary, fundamental components that you need to be successful in any endeavor that you're trying. Now, according to the experts in the algorithm, I don't format the sequence of the videos how they should be formatted. I'm supposed to start off and leave you hanging and make sure that you hang around until the end so I can get my watch time up, which I absolutely get. And clearly, that's one of the reasons why my videos aren't doing too good, because I don't follow these formats. So I got 3,000 subscribers, which is cool. It's all organic though. I don't do nothing crazy. I don't do nothing outside of who I am to get any of these subscriptions. So how I feel is that these is valid subscribers because they actually subscribe because they saw some type of value in what I'm providing. So I don't have to do nothing that's jumping through no hoops or being other than myself. So I basically approach every video the same way. And again, you can clearly say then, hey bro, it ain't working because you're not running the numbers up. I'm not in a rush to run the numbers up. I'm more so concerned about the journey and the process that I'm taking. And to ensure that I know how I did it and how to replicate it, and also to be effective in the communication and provide the value to whom my audience is. So I'm not eager. I'm not trying to get a quick one. If you pick up what I'm putting down. I'm here for the long haul. And I'm enjoying the process. I'm enjoying the journey. I'm not hard up about numbers. And also, I'm trusting in the audience that see these videos. They can just see that I'm being super authentic. I'm not doing nothing crazy, right? Whatever the algorithm, whatever is popular, or whatever is going on social media, it's not pulling me to where I need to jump on some bandwagon. I'm not doing none of that. And so I hope that the audience, they recognize that, and that my builds is authentic and they coming straight off the cuff like I'm freestyling or something. Always room to grow, right? Always looking to learn more and also looking to grow. And like I said, I understand the algorithm in terms of the sequence that it should go in from other successful YouTubers. They break down the sequence and I don't follow the sequence. So obviously you're not following the sequence, then your ass won't get the same results because you're not following the sequence. So I'm conscious enough to understand that whole process. But again, I'm in a learning process that's a little more deeper than just getting the numbers. The numbers gonna come eventually. They're gonna come. Which brings me to the point of this video. Do you really believe what you say you believe? I say that a lot, and I don't think people really grasp on to what I'm saying. Are you an advocate on what you stand on? Or do you just say things to say things and you kind of just move them around to how you need to move them around to fit whatever the scenario is? What's up, brother? Doing all right? So I stand on my word, man of honor, man of principles, and a man that really believes what he believes. If that fucking sound right. Basically, like if you say something, do you really believe it? Like when people talk about how mentally strong they are, or if they can do X, Y, and Z, but when it comes to doing X, Y, and Z or showing how strong they are, all right, so it was a little break in the build because I received a phone call. So let's get back on point. So again, believing what you say you believe. Now, I view things as being totally contradictory. Contradictory in a yin and yang type format, right? Yin and yang, light, dark, hot, cold, night, day. So some things, most things, always have that duality, right? The dichotomy, if you will, where you can always say things is subjective to be different, right? And two things can be right at the same time, depending on if it fits what you got going on at that present time. And then later on, it can change and you can see things different. So like working out. Many moons ago, I used to just jump to it and just start working out. I don't do the same thing now. Now back then, I probably would have advocated, just use some working sets to build up until until you get to your working exercises, because that'll be the warm up. But I won't advocate that now though. So that'll be a small example of switching things up, which would be contradictory to what I would have said before to what I say now. So some things you have to take with a grain of salt because you learn as you grow and things change. But with that being said, you need to have solid principles, that those are non-negotiables and they don't change. And to be a real solid person, male or female, you can't be wavering on what you say. So do you believe what you say you believe? If you're just wavering on everything, then you need to go back to the drawing board, because you have to be able to stand on something. Because when you're talking to somebody and your judgment, your stances are wavering every other week, every other month, then you're just a waffler and your feedback won't provide no value because you're subject to change, because your ass always change. Now this happens especially in a group setting because you lack the confidence. And if a group, let's use a jury, right? A 12-man jury in a court case. If you get 11 people that say guilty and you don't think they were guilty and you saying not guilty, then it can't be a conviction, right? And so the other 11 jurors are trying to convince you why you should say guilty as well, and then you just do it because they saying it, then you don't stand on no principles. This isn't about changing my mind because the group think is drawing my judgment in, and it's not really what I feel. So you just changing because you're going to just go with the group think and you're going to have a herd mentality. So that's not believing what you say you believe. That's wavering because your ass lack the confidence. So I build that this makes sense, right? Practice, train, condition yourself to come with some core values that are non-negotiable and stand on those values and don't waver. again, if you grow and you learn more and you subject to change one of your principles, that's perfectly fine. But you shouldn't be known as somebody that wavers and changes all the time, depending on which way the wind is blowing. That's the build. Leave me a comment. Let me know. I'm going to keep working at this, and eventually the numbers is going to come up, man. We're going to stay positive, providing value, and let's get the engagement, and let's see what y'all think. That's the video. Appreciate y'all. Peace.